by SFG Medicare.
Well, one of the most expensive healthcare costs is not covered by Medicare. Today on Medicare Tips with Andrew, we're going to talk about how to protect yourself against long-term care costs. Andrew, great to have you on the show today.
Great to be back.
Well, we were talking about this topic and just how important it is. When people think about long-term care, they're usually thinking about nursing homes and services like that.
Yeah, most people automatically think nursing homes, and nobody wants to go to a nursing home. So when I talk about long-term care, where I try to help people plan for long-term care, I'm usually talking about home health care, because most people want to be able to stay in their home, and if we have some proper planning, we can make that happen.
And you said a lot of people are confused. You get a lot of phone calls on this topic.
I do. It's probably the most heartbreaking phone calls. I get my clients' children call me and say, Mom and Dad, can't take care of themselves anymore. What does Medicare cover? And in most cases, Medicare doesn't cover a lot, and so it kind of really puts them in a hard position.
So what are some of those costs that you can use? Obviously, you talk about home care, and sometimes that can keep them in their home a little bit longer.
So there's two new ways that we're covering long-term care costs. One is life insurance. So you can now use some life insurance policies to actually help pay for your home health care cost.
Wow, that's exciting.
It's really exciting because it's a win-win situation, because when you're paying for a insurance policy, sometimes you don't use them,
right,
and they can be expensive. With life insurance, you're going to use it in some form or fashion, and so it's a good use of your money, and so you can actually pull off your death benefits. So if you have a $200,000 life insurance policy, you can use part of that $200,000 to pay for a nurse to come into your house to help take care of you, and anything that's left over is life insurance and would go to whoever you want it to go to.
Which is great, but then you're able to stay in your home if you can have some of those services and use some of that money.
You can, and it's all tax-free because it's coming off life insurance, so you don't have to pay any taxes on that money as well. So it's really can help a lot of people.
And then you mentioned two options.
So the other one I'm really excited about just because it's so affordable. So I got a new short-term home plan, and the way it works is it's a normal health insurance policy with just a couple health questions, but they only start at $25 a month. And so there's a few different options. So at age 65, the cheapest option is only $25. The most expensive option, which was the Plan C, only costs $75 a month. So I was really excited about coming on today just because I wanted people to know about this, because a lot of policies are over $200 a month,
oh, yeah,
and it's really unaffordable. And so people can, a lot of people can afford $25, $50, $75 to fill in that gap where their supplement doesn't cover, their Advantage plan doesn't cover, Medicare doesn't cover, and they want a little extra peace of mind to get the health care that they need.
And then what are some of those things that this would cover?
So these plans start once you can't do what's called 2 acts of daily living. Okay. So that's like dressing yourself, bathing yourself, moving from place to place, feeding yourself. So once you can't do 2 of those things, then that starts your policy, and then you can use some of that money. There's different benefits based on what it is, whether it's a nurse coming to your house or if it's just a caregiver coming to your house to help you dress or take a bath or something like that, even if your kids are helping you out, to give your kids a break so that that they're not having to be there 24/7.
Yeah, I can see how that would come in very handy for a lot of people. Andrew, thank you so much. Important information. If you have other questions, you can always call Andrew. The number is right there on your screen.
The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by SFG Medicare.